Hello, Europe and Australia. Welcome to the three biggest nights of the year. Yes, Eurovision no longer one biggest night of the year. Because obviously, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Today is Monday, the 19th of May. And on Saturday, the 17th of May, we had the Eurovision Song Contest on BBC One here in the UK. We also had the Interstellar Song Contest on BBC One beforehand, which was an episode of Doctor Who. I thought I mentioned Eurovision in that one when I was reading that, so I might as well mention Doctor Who when I'm talking about Eurovision here. Today we're talking about my review of the 69th Eurovision Song Contest. Next year is the 70th anniversary. I mean, if Switzerland had won, spoilers will be in this review, just like that. If Switzerland had won, then they would have been able to do a whole 70th anniversary of the birthplace of Eurovision. But because of the winner, they'll have to celebrate 70 years instead of Switzerland, sorry. So, let's first of all talk about the elephant in the room, which is Remember Monday with our UK act. Our UK act, Remember Monday. And with the words, what the hell just happened? I personally think that was a cracking song. It's better. I think it was slightly better than our entry from last year with Ollie Alexander. And I think he's on par with Sam Ryder. I'm gutted for the Remember Monday. Hopefully, what I hope. So with the way that the scoring went, I hope the band themselves become equally more famous around Europe and become loved. I hope it becomes a Andreas. The Norwegian act who sang Queen of the Kings. I'm not going to try and pronounce his name because I already butchered it horrendously. So I think if we get an act like that, so what I mean by that is that Sam Ryder and Queen of the Kings, that's the song. I'm just going to call her that just so I don't get her name wrong. And I think we need an act now. Eurovision isn't just about the song. And what I'm trying to get at in this long-winded explanation is that the song was really good. Even though the votes didn't go our way, at least the best thing Europe can do is give them their moment in the spotlight. Send them around the world. Send them on tours. Send them all around Europe. Make them perform that song and have other successful hits. Sam Ryder's doing quite a good job at having other successful hits. So I think Remember Monday need to have a go at doing other successful hits. Ollie Alexander did not need other successful hits because his previous back catalogue before his Eurovision entry, according to all the facts I found out from the Eurovision, is that he had other successful hits beforehand, and he was in a successful Channel 4 Channel 4 drama called It's a Sin. So Ollie Alexander was perfectly fine either way. But I think the Remember Monday need that because Remember Monday are West End trained. They've been on The Voice UK, and they're a band already. So I just think that's what they need to push them forward. They just need more support from not just Britain, which they had already, but I don't think other countries need to say, right, I'm really sorry about what happened with the voting, but we love you as a band. Come on, just come and play for us. Just do your stuff at our place. Now that we've got that out of the way, I'm going to get to the scoring later, but I want to say what my favourite song was. So, Remember Monday in the grand final wise was my second favourite song, but overall in the whole contest, because beforehand I'd only actually watched the Late Late Show, RT's Late Late Show selection process for their Irish act. So I already really liked Emmy's Lacquer Party, and I watched Melody Festival, and so I really liked Caillou's Bala Bala Bascu. Hopefully I've pronounced that correctly because I keep enjoying humming the song to me. And I try and get it right, and I never know if I'm pronouncing that word right. So that was my attempt at humming. So I'm gonna apologise here and now. So for grand final wise, which is what we're reviewing, I think my favourite was Sweden, Caillou, with Baba Baba Bascu. And I think my second favourite was Remember Monday with What the Hell Just Happened. I think their songs were the strongest of the night because I do think some of the other good ones in the contest, sadly, weren't with us anymore because they got knocked out in the semi-finals, which is gutting as a whole. I think that the contest as a whole, regardless of the artist, regardless of the countries, just as the way Switzerland presented itself, I think they did an excellent job. I think the presenters were brilliant. I don't know why they had a third in the grand final but not in the semi-finals. I thought that was slightly odd. She was Italian, so I'm not too sure what she was doing. I don't really know much about her, but what I do want to know, and this is what I thought. So there's a program on Amazon Prime called Last One Laughing, which is a format Amazon produced with ones in UK, Ireland, Canada, Australia, Japan, Italy, Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, Denmark, Portugal, you name it, it's got it, right? And, there's a Eurovision. And I want to know, is Hazel, who now lives in Germany, who is the Swiss comedian, is she going to host a Last One Laughing? Because I think she'd be fantastic in it. Or is she a contestant on the German version? That's research that needs to have. But I think that she has enough presence, in my opinion. I want to see her on more things going forward. Thank you. And we shall crack on. So I think the interval acts were good this year. I think the mashup between Baby Lasagna and the sang Cha 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 for Finland, I think it was, or was it Iceland? I can't remember. I think that mashup worked incredibly well. I think that even though they're not the same sort of style of song, which they probably were, but to me, when I thought, I don't think they seem the same similar style, but when listening to them, they are the same similar style. So I think that really worked. I really like the staging. I'm not too sure about that other arena, right? I'm not going to go there with that because I don't know enough information, but I don't agree with that other arena per se. Because it's just like 30,000 people watching a giant screen, which, in my powerful opinion, I wouldn't necessarily agree should have happened. But again, wasn't my choice because I am not one of the powers that be at Eurovision, or I'm not the one that said, let's have a stadium that can't fit everyone in, shall we? And shove most of the commentators, not the UK, in a basement, right? Sweden was next door to the UK. I'm gutted that Myth Warhurst wasn't commentating for Australia, but I'm gutted for Gojo with Milkshake Man as well. That was a great song. It's a milkshake man. It's a milkshake. Yeah. And I think that some of the memorable songs, apart from Mia Coffee, Macchiato. Yeah. Macchiato, for Estonia. I think is the only song on the catchy variety that were in the semi-finals that made it through. Because I know that obviously like a party didn't make it through, which it should have, and obviously, so I think that having one catchy song and the rest of them, what the hell just happened, is a bit more catchy the more you think about it, but it wasn't immediate catchy in my opinion. So when looking on a broad spectrum of contestants for this year, you've got the brilliant to the weird and to the sublime. I think the Eurovision winner is going to be one of those that you might not like immediately, but will end up liking. So let's say, for example, for me, Duncan Lawrence. All I knew, all I knew, I don't know what the actual name of the song's called, so I had to hum that. When he won, I was like, oh, I didn't like that. Oh, that's awful. Oh, but then over the years, I've gone, actually, it wasn't that bad. Actually, it was quite nice. Oh, I quite like that. I'll add that to my Eurovision / international music playlist. That's 2 separate playlists, might I add. So, this is one of those ones where you might not like it immediately, but it will grow on you. It's a growing song. So in the end, like in 2 or 3 years' time, you end up going, I actually really like that one instead of what you might think now. So I think that's what you have to take in mind when you think about Eurovision, really, personally. It's not what you like in the moment, it's what you like later on, because you might not think about, I don't know, I can't think of one that I haven't thought about, but you might not think of a song and it might just random pop in your head. So my example is Norway when they did oh, I'm a fallen angel. That's it. I'm a fallen angel. And I never thought about that, right? But then after I thought I really didn't like it. But then after I went, fallen angel. I'm a try but I'm not able. So I just want you to know I'm a fallen angel. And it gets stuck in your head. And you're like, what? I didn't like that song. But now I really do like that song. And now I've seen the music video and now I'm really into it. And that's what's going to happen with a lot of Eurovision entries this year. You're going to go, oh, I don't like that. I mean, then you're going to go, I'm a survivor. I'm a diver. I'm going to run on this treadmill. And you'll remember the lyrics at some point, but that's what will happen. It'll get stuck in your head. And you will end up enjoying them. So I just think this is what the contest you need to remember. It's not the artist. The artist you might like, full stop. But it's a song choice, right? It's always about the song. Never the person, always the song. That's what we're criticising in every aspect. Apart from this review, because I'm criticising the whole thing. I'm not criticising the artists personally, but I'm criticising the whole event. So, I don't think Austria's staging was great, but I think the song will become great. What I mean by that is that I wasn't too keen on it on the night, but I might quite like it in a few days, in a year or so. I might end up actually quite liking it in a few years. So I'm not saying it's bad, because you'll never know. You'll never know you never know if it'll become good. So you can't say any song having a song contest is bad, because eventually you like it. So the one I keep on going back to was Dustin the Turkey for Ireland, who sang Douze Pois, which not really near Douze Pois, no Douze Pois, funky music. I don't know what the song's actually called, but Dustin the Turkey's in the top 10 things of. Yes, it might not have been a great song at the time, but really thinking about it retrospectively, yeah, it's stuck in your head. And that's what you have to think about when you look at the contest as a whole. So this year, the songs will get stuck in your head eventually. I do really like Sweden's Oh, bye bye basketball sauna. I like the word when they say sauna. So every time I hear the word sauna, I go, are you gonna go in the sauna? Sauna. And I just think that's not taking the mickey out of Swedish, or the fact that they're from Finland in a Swedish dialect area of Finland, which I didn't know existed. I just thought they'd learned Swedish and then went to Sweden and thought, let's perform as a comedy troupe. But really, there's a part of Finland that has a dialect of Swedish. I never knew that. And now I need to know more on that. So the song contest brings out the best in everyone. I think Graham Norton did an excellent job for us here in the UK. I'm gutted for SBS fans, the ones that watch in Australia. You didn't get Myth War Hers, but she did record new episodes because you'll be fine. The thing that really confuses me about Eurovision in Australia, and this is just because I recently listened to the Rest of Entertainment episode on Eurovision where um, Eurovision expert Mark, I don't know what his name is, or is it Matt? I think it's Mark. Basically, the one that says we're good to go. Him. He said that it's a state national broadcasters. So here in Britain, that is the BBC. In Ireland, that's RTE. In Sweden, that's SVT. And in Australia, I always thought it was ABC, Australian Broadcasting Company. I thought it was the ABC. But really, it's actually, I mean, I don't know why, but it's actually SBS, which is weird. Because I always thought it was the ABC as a national broadcaster. I might have to look that up to confirm if that hypothesis is correct, but I know for a fact that Eurovision doesn't do the round on the ABC, it's SBS. I mean, hopefully that there's an explanation to that, but I never knew that. I thought it was really odd, and that's why I'm bringing it up now in this 2025 review. So, overall, the main arena was packed and looked stunning. I think some acts, Switzerland specifically, looked better on TV than would do in person. Because the Switzerland, they attempted to do a boiling point adolescent thing, which is what Graham used as a reference for one-shot things that are done in one take, which I always think is hilarious because they both star Stephen Graham, and no one can ever. I don't know anyone, because I've not had many conversations with many people really about this, but I don't know many people that can say, I know, I can come up with I can come up with someone that isn't Graham, it isn't Stephen Graham that's done it something in a one take. So I just think it's really fascinating that Graham couldn't think of anyone either. And I think that his narration really accompanied it. I do feel like he was yelling over the music a lot during the night because I think that the audio level for him and the music wasn't that great. Could have been better. So I just think next year that's something for the BBC to look into. But I do think that Switzerland did an excellent competition. They did an excellent contest, and I think they did everyone proud. And I like to say well done to Remember Monday. At the end of the day, if we didn't win, then top 10 was great. But where we came, even though that's like, what? Surely we should have done higher because in 2024 we got 18, 2025 we got 19. And at the end of the day, right, no matter how many points we got, and no matter where we place in the charts, their careers will change forever because they're now going to be huge. They're going to be remembered. I really do want them to create a sister band or like a boy version of their band called Remember Tuesday, right? And I think a podcast could be remember. Do you remember Monday? Where they talk about Mondays that they remember. Yeah, so it's like each week they talk about the previous Monday. Go, do you remember what we did last Monday? Do you remember Monday? Do you remember that thing that happened on Monday? Do you remember Monday? What just happened? Do you remember Monday? And they film it and they record it on a Tuesday. I go, do you remember Monday? And I think that would just be a really funny BBC Sounds podcast called Do You Remember Monday? And it's not about the band themselves. They are the hosts of this thing. I think that would be hilarious. Overall, I think the contest was really good. I think is it Armenia that did Survivor? Give a Survivor. Oh, a diver. I'm a diver. He tried to find words that rhyme with the word Survivor. I mean, he did an excellent job at doing that, but I mean, I wouldn't be able to try to remember things whilst being covered in dirt whilst running on a treadmill. Selection of things. So I think that Armenia was really good. France, well, was good until Graham Norton said it looks like she's had an explosive episode because she's got a lot of sand around her. She's got a lot of sand, and at one point, the camera's on her at the wrong moment when the sand's coming from behind, and it looks like it's explosive, and that makes it funnier. But the song's quite good. It's no it's no voila, that one. It's not that, but it is close second to that. So I think that France had a good shot at winning. I think that the song placements were a little bit erratic, and the jury judging was slightly erratic as well. I don't know why the juries voted in the way they voted, but at the end of the day, the contestants did really well. No matter where they came, no matter how many points they got, they did really well. I think Germany did really well, and that's gonna do even better further out. Bala bala. It reminds me of what you would expect, and so I think that's gonna do even well further on. I don't think the DJ bloke, I can't remember which country he's from, I do apologise. I don't think he is going to do that well with that song. Apparently, he's really, really well known in Italy. So I think he'll just probably have to just pivot away from that song and just move on with what he was doing beforehand. But overall, I think it was a strong contest, and I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10 this year. But who knows? Bring on the 70th song contest next year. Bye bye.